Ooh. Hello, so I'm Amber. This is Evie, also known as Genevieve, that is her registered name, aka the Little Red Witch. But I'm going to respond to a message that I got on TikTok. For those of you who don't know, I am Raylet on TikTok. I will go ahead and post a link in the description below if you want to go ahead and follow me there. But the question was, how do you teach a horse to not overturn their second barrel? As in, they are cutting in the backside and finishing it too tight. So how I like to work on that, this mare, she does like to finish her second barrel too tight. My other mare especially, she's all cow bred, super turny. But I really like that feel of a horse that wants to finish that barrel. And what I have heard some people say is what you want to do, which I don't recommend, is have your horse, instead of finishing this turn, just go straight to your first barrel, which normally I do not recommend. If your horse does not have proper body control, I do not recommend that, because you're pushing the issue further up on the barrel. And what that issue is one, the root cause is not having proper body control. If you can't keep your horse off of a barrel with your inside rein and inside leg, I would recommend first you take them off the barrel pattern and then work on that and then put them back on the barrels. But say your horse does have proper body control, they work off their shoulder, they know indirect rein, they're pretty well respectful. So if they are trained properly, what I recommend, don't go to your first barrel, because what you end up doing is your horse, when they're trying to turn this barrel too tight, usually the issue starts about right here. They're wanting to finish that barrel to go up there. So their momentum stops right here, they hollow out, and they bring that shoulder around and into this barrel. So by telling your horse to, instead of, finishing their turn here by going to your first barrel, well, now all you're doing is you're telling him to cut in from up here, because now you're teaching him to speed up and go to your first. What I recommend, again, teach your horse proper body control. What I recommend is, rather than the traditional recommendation of waiting until your leg is even with the barrel to turn, if you're on a super turny horse, I like to wait until their hip is even with that barrel. Make sure their body's rounded on the approach, wait till their hip is even with that barrel, and maintain that hip being even all the way around. That gives your turny horses that half stride more to get around that barrel and to turn in that style that best suits them. So that's step one. Step two, I recommend you turn this barrel. Again, make sure their hip is even. When they get to here where they want to turn, use that inside rein, inside leg, push them off of it, and just keep working around this barrel, maintaining that same shape and same distance all the way around. And what you're doing there is you're teaching that horse they have to finish this turn properly, not by going to your first, not by going to your third. They have to just go around this barrel, use your, again, inside leg, inside rein, push them off of it. Wait until they're waiting on you. Every time you get to that spot, if they try, let them make the mistake, let them try to turn that, and if they do, again, inside rein, inside leg, make it a little bit uncomfortable. I'm not saying, jam that spur into their leg or into their body, but, just making them aware of its existence. Push them off, and then once they finally wait on you, go ahead and move on to your third. You can do this at a walk and a trot, and I also recommend doing it at a lope. Like her, she's pretty good. Her issues are mostly on this top side. She wants to, thank you, Evie, let's pepper everybody. What she likes to do is kind of cut in too soon, anticipate. So this also works on a horse that likes to anticipate, really waiting on them, or telling them to wait on you to get past this barrel, wait till their hip is even, and then they can go ahead and finish. Go ahead and finish, and then move on to your third. Ooh. Now we don't have to go to our third. We can just pretend like we're going to, and then we can come back around, because you do not have to work this whole pattern over just to fix one little issue at the second barrel. So again, at a lope, get them to round out their body, give it the nose, maintain the same distance all the way around. And every time they try to anticipate that spot, just again, inside rein, inside leg. Go a little wide here. There. Come a little wide here, because that's her issue. And we can go ahead and do the corkscrew, and then just really emphasize getting off. Now I've got piles of grass here, so we're trying to avoid them too. Really emphasize getting off this barrel. Ooh. Go ahead and wait. Go ahead and do one more because she's trying to. There we go. That feels better. So we'll go ahead and move on. Ooh. Ooh. There you go. Now something I have done in the past as well, which worked really good on my stiffer horses, and she is a stiffer horse, so this works really good on her too, is rather than going ahead and turning this barrel, the spot that becomes the issue, I just counter arc away. I never finish that barrel. We can counter arc away, we come back to this top side, maintaining shape all the way around, come back to the start. Again, wait for that hip to get even, then turn. Then your problem spot, say it's right here, go ahead, inside leg, inside rein, turn away. Never ever finish that turn. Same thing with your top side. What a lot of people do, even when you're approaching this first barrel, what a lot of people do, and this is the big mistake that they make, is say their horse is wanting to turn, they'll turn them away. They'll turn them away, but then they'll go ahead and come back in and make a turn. Do not do that. Ooh. Turn them away and then just restart and just keep doing that over and over until they're waiting on you, and then reward them with being able to go around that barrel. Ooh. So anyway, that's how I like to fix those issues. I may not be known nationally, but locally I am known for having horses that do have a really good turn on them. And a lot of that is attributed to what I do off the pattern versus what I do on the pattern. And what I do off the pattern is making sure these horses are responsive to the bit, responsive to my legs. They can move off each part of their body. She's still young and a little sticky, but they can do a lot of things that a lot of barrel horses nowadays just do not do. So my recommendation, get them off the pattern, teach them how to use themselves properly, and then you can start correcting the issues around the barrels.